Yes, then the people. This is going to be Lewes Police Station. We're in Sussex. Let me see what's up.
On a quiet day in Sussex, a cameraman arrives outside Lewes Police Station. With a simple camera and calm manner, he begins filming the rear gate from a public street. What starts as routine filming soon attracts the attention of nearby officers, curious about his purpose and intentions today. As an officer approaches politely, the cameraman explains he is simply recording the building because it is publicly funded. He describes his activity as public interest filming from a lawful public space. The officer listens carefully but remains cautious about the unusual focus on the station entrance and surrounding security.
Hello mate, you right?
Yeah, good, thank you.
How you doing?
Good, thanks.
Excellent. What are you up to at the moment?
I'm filming
What are you filming?
the back gate.
Why are you filming the back gate?
So I just have an interest.
The officer asks whether the filmer would be willing to identify himself to ease concerns. Calmly and respectfully, the cameraman declines, explaining that he believes he is under no legal obligation to provide identification while standing in a public place and committing no offense under the law as he continues filming.
An interest in what?
The police station.
Okay, what sort of interest?
A public interest.
A public interest,
Yes.
okay.
Do you mind identifying, please?
I'm PC Door. Charlie Delta 911
Okay.
from Lewes Police Station.
Can I help you with anything?
You're sitting in a public place, but I need to understand your motivations in filming a police station.
Okay.
You see, there's obviously a security concern here, isn't there?
Right.
Of people filming police stations.
What sort of security concern?
Well, I'm sure you can work that out for yourself, can't you?
No, I can't.
Okay.
Would you
Well,
care to explain?
Well, you say me you've got an interest in the back gate of the police station.
Yeah.
So what is that interest?
It's a public interest.
In what way?
The
Why-
public
why
are
the-
interested.
The public interest in the back gate of the police.
Conversation continues, with both sides maintaining measured tones. Officers explain that filming a police facility can sometimes trigger security concerns, especially when the purpose is unclear. The cameraman responds that transparency and public curiosity about government buildings are reasonable interests for any citizen observing life in a democratic society today.
Station.
Yeah.
And why would that be?
Because the police station is paid for by the taxpayer, so I have a right to come and film it.
Okay, all right. And who are you?
I'm Pinnock.
Pinnock. Okay. Have you got any ID, Pinnock?
No, sir.
None at all.
No.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to blow that in your face.
Okay.
Forgive me.
You ain't got any ID on you at all? Nothing
No,
with your
sir.
name on?
Why would I need to provide ID? Am I committing an offence?
Oh, potentially, yeah.
What offence
Yeah.
might that
There
be?
are offences under the Terrorism Act.
Right. I don't. see
It's
how.
called like hostile reconnaissance.
Do you believe that this is hostile reconnaissance?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to establish that, aren't I?
Well, you need to be pretty assured and confident that this is hostile reconnaissance before you start.
I'm investigating that, aren't I? That's what I'm asking.
To the cameraman. Filming from a public pavement is a straightforward exercise of everyday freedoms. He explains that taxpayers fund public buildings like police stations, and therefore citizens sometimes document them out of curiosity or civic interest. Officers acknowledge the explanation but continue assessing the situation carefully before deciding next steps.
Any questions?
Would somebody that would be doing hostile reconnaissance film a police station in broad daylight?
Potentially, yeah.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay, well, that's what we need to work out, isn't it?
Okay, and what if we can't work it out?
You're happy to give me your details?
No, I'm not going to hand over any details.
You're not going to hand over details?
I'm not obliged to, officer. I'm a member of the public. Like, saying things like hostile reconnaissance is a bit...
You are a member of the public.
It's a bit far-fetched, officer. Like, I'm here conducting a lawful activity. As you mentioned, I'm in a public place, so to be saying such things is a bit distasteful.
Well, it's not distasteful. I'm just doing my job, aren't I?
Well, I'm here recording from a public place. You don't really have any jurisdiction.
I'm not saying I'm in a public place, okay? But I'm just trying to understand what...
Another officer joins the conversation, noting that someone reported a person recording the station and raised concerns. Because of that report, police say they must briefly investigate the situation and understand the filmer's intentions. The cameraman replies that his purpose remains simple observation and personal documentation of public places today.
You're doing and why are you doing it? That's
Okay,
quite
well,
reasonable, isn't it?
Rest assured, it's not hostile reconnaissance. Do you think that this is a valuable valuable target for those that would want to do hostile reconnaissance?
Could be, couldn't it?
I don't agree.
So why won't you give me any details?
I'm not obliged to give details. I don't just give my details to strangers. Unless you suspect me of committing an offence, I see no reason as to why I should hand over
As I
details.
explained to you,
Yeah,
I'm trying to work out what exactly your motivation is here.
there's no ill intent.
Okay, you're telling me that. I'd like to know who you are.
Okay, well, I'm not going to tell you who I am.
It makes it a little bit more suspicious then.
Not really. I'm a member of the public. I don't just have to hand over details because you say so. Come on, like, that's not how these things work.
Well,
The discussion becomes a careful balance between curiosity and reassurance. Officers explain that unusual behavior near secure sites sometimes prompts questions for safety reasons. The cameraman respectfully argues that recording openly in daylight would hardly be the approach of anyone intending wrongdoing, emphasizing his transparent presence and calm cooperation throughout.
so I'm just trying to establish what is going on here and who you are. So it makes life a lot easier, doesn't it?
I'm a member of the public,
Yeah.
filming from public.
Yeah.
That's what you need to know. Are we happy with that?
I'm not particularly happy at the moment, no.
All right. So how do we?
I'd like to know who you are.
Well, you're not going to find out. I don't carry ID.
But you could tell me who you are.
I'm not going to. So how do we proceed?
Makes it difficult, doesn't it?
Not really. Like, I'm not committing an offence.
It's raised alarms. You hear recording the police station has raised alarms, which is what's called us out here. So obviously people are concerned that you're recording the police station, which is why we're here, which is why we're trying to find out what your intent is and who you are.
Okay, what could I possibly?
Still, the officers ask again whether he might share basic details to resolve the matter quickly. The filmer maintains his position politely, stating that providing personal information without legal requirement feels unnecessary. Both sides remain composed, continuing a calm roadside dialogue about rights, responsibilities, and public accountability in everyday encounters.
Do with this footage of the police station?
We don't know. A number of things happen in the world, don't they? So if we get called to a call that's in a suspicious alarm, which is you recording a police station, which doesn't happen quite often.
Right.
So now my colleague's trying to ask your name so we can just clarify who you are. Because we don't know who you are. You could be known to us for a number of reasons, we might not be known to us. But we just need to work out who you are. But you're refusing to tell us your details.
That's right. I don't see how this is suspicious. Like, what?
We've been alerted to you recording the police station because someone's deemed it suspicious.
Would you mind identifying yourself?
Yeah, PC Catton. I work at Lewes Police Station.
All right.
Alpha 866 is my phone number.
I think someone that may have ill intent wouldn't come and film openly.
The cameraman also explains that footage like this may later appear in personal videos or archives documenting everyday interactions in public places. Officers listen closely, acknowledging the explanation while repeating that their role requires them to assess anything reported as unusual near a police building and ensure no risk exists.
Broad daylight and engage with you.
Don't know that.
I told you it's for matters of public interest.
But in what sense?
The public are interested in seeing police stations and back gates of police stations.
But why would they be interested in seeing the back of a police station?
I can't speak on behalf of the public, I'm just here to film.
So you do not see why that's a bit suspicious for us?
I don't think so, no. I feel like someone that would
You're
have...
recording a security building.
Is it not a secure building?
Yes, it's a security covered
So
building,
what could I
isn't it?
possibly do with
We
my
don't
camera?
know, do we?
Well, if you don't know,
It doesn't-
then...
it's not what you can and can't do with your camera, it's what you can do with that recording.
What-
And
okay,
who
what could I-
it gets passed on to. My colleagues already explained to you.
This can all be seen on Google Earth, though. If I had those sort of intentions, then
Okay.
I wouldn't be giving you ample opportunity to come and engage me. Hypothetically...
As the conversation continues, the filmer asks a simple question, whether he is free to leave if no offense has occurred. Officers explain that they are still checking guidance with the supervisor before deciding the next step. The calm exchange highlights the balance between public freedom and police duty to investigate.
Someone that would have those intentions would probably go on Google Earth.
We don't know that, do we?
Oh, well, logic would dictate that.
Not necessarily.
This is very overt in front of your face.
Yeah.
You know, I've explained I'm filming from a public place for matters of...
And we've explained our concerns, which is why we...
What are your concerns?
The fact that you're recording a police station, and we don't know why. All you're telling me is a public interest, but interest for what reasons?
People want to know how their tax money is being spent, upkeep of the building. The taxpayer pays for the police service, for the building.
Yeah.
So any member of the public has an obligation to come and film from public. I don't appreciate...
Another officer soon introduces himself and continues the discussion. He says that while filming is not automatically illegal, the situation remains unusual around a police station. The cameraman reassures them again that there is no harmful intention and that he is simply documenting a public building from outside. The grounds dot the...
You know, things such as hostile reconnaissance and stuff.
That's just concerns that we have if members of the public or someone has alerted us to a male recording in the back of the police station. It's just one of the things that will cross our mind. So we're not necessarily that saying that's what we're doing, but actually we've got a right to
Yeah, you're well within your right to ask me questions, but just alluding to things like hostile reconnaissance, I don't think there's a good direction. But all right, am I free to go?
my colleague's just talking with our supervisor. I don't know what they're talking about.
So am I free to go?
I mean, I haven't been engaging with you. Mainly my colleague has. He's wanted to know your details.
The officers explain that refusing to share identification can sometimes increase uncertainty during such encounters. Still, the filmer maintains that openness does not always require personal disclosure. He stands calmly with his camera visible, reminding them he has answered questions about his purpose and location throughout the interaction so far.
So if you're refusing to give us your details,
Yeah, I am.
so what are you going to do with the rest of your day?
Whatever I choose. Do I need to account for what I'm going to
No,
do?
of course you don't. But
All right.
the likelihood is if you come back and record the police station, we will come out and talk to you again.
Okay, well, I'm not. I'm just here. Like, this is what I'm choosing to do.
Okay.
So am I free to go?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm just filming.
Filming what for?
Matters of public interest.
Matters of public interest. What brings you here?
To film the police station.
But what for?
The public are interested in things like this.
So what do you do with your videos?
They'll just use it for my own recreation.
So
Eventually, the officers decide to take an additional procedural step to clarify the situation. They explain that, under relevant legislation, they may conduct a search when they believe it could help rule out potential concerns. The cameraman remains composed, asking calmly for the legal grounds and explanation behind the decision.
tell me what you do with it.
I don't need to tell you.
I'm just interested to know.
Okay. Well,
So who's asked you to come?
nobody. I've just come at my own discretion.
Have you been here before?
No.
Any other police stations?
No.
So what is it about Lewes that's drawn you here?
Nothing. I just happened to be here. Just thought I'd do a bit of sightseeing, photography, public photography. Would you mind identifying yourself?
Sergeant Barry.
Is there anything I can do to help you? Like,
I'm just curious as to why you're here, that's all.
okay, like rest assured, I've made assurances. There's no ill intent. Just a photographer. This is what I've chosen to film today. Are we happy with that?
We can't really back that up, can we?
As the moment unfolds, the camera continues recording quietly from the pavement outside the station. What began as simple public filming has developed into a measured exchange about law, rights, and responsibility. The outcome now depends on procedure, dialogue, and how authorities interpret the circumstances surrounding the filming that day.
We don't know who you are.
To verify that before we...
You don't have to verify anything. I'm in a public place.
Details, it might help us.
I'm not going to give any details though.
Well, that kind of just raises suspicion, doesn't it?
Why? What's suspicious about this?
Because nobody else, for the entire time I've been working here...
Okay, well,
so that raises suspicions.
Well, there's a first time for everything. I mean, I don't need to...
trying to hide your details, which also raises suspicions.
I'm not trying to hide anything. I don't have, you know, I'm here in public. My face isn't covered. I'm not trying to hide anything. I've explained to you why I'm here. I don't feel like I need to account for my presence.
Okay, mate. Well, look, this is very, whether you think it's normal or not, this is very unusual circumstances.
Okay.
And you're not giving us your details, which just raises suspicion.
Okay.
You're filming a police station.
I understand.
You've freely admitted to us, okay? So this time you are detained for a search under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, okay?
Are you sure you want to do that?
I'm PC Door for Lewes Police Station, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
could you explain to me the grounds for the search?
Okay, just stay your hands out
I'm
your
not going to
pocket for me,
obstruct. Can I put
okay?
the phone down?
Can I hold your phone?
I'll just put it down like this.
Sure.
Yeah.